if you'll notice, we're going to look at the heart, and we're going to figure out the four chambers first. This is going to be right atrium area, right ventricle area, left atrium area, left ventricle area. The way we can always get the left ventricle correct, you'll find the apex is there. So whenever you do your pledge of allegiance, you always put your hand over the apex of the heart. Now, Mr. Gilmore, can you show us a little bit more orientation? This structure right here is the pulmonary trunk. This structure right here is the aorta. Now, Mr. Gilmore, what is this little ear flap thing? This is called the right auricle. It's like this little rib area. That's the right auricle, overlining who? The right atrium. But Mr. Gilmore, what is this structure right here that you're opening up? This is going to be the what? Right ventricle. But Mr. Gilmore, what connects the right atrium to the right ventricle? This is going to be the tricuspid valve. Alright? Now, when I leave, Mr. Gilmore, the right ventricle and try to go through the pulmonary trunk, I got to enter another valve. This valve is called the semilunar pulmonary valve. Semilunar pulmonary valve. Mr. Gilmore, I'm going to exit or enter this pulmonary trunk and exit through these things called pulmonary arteries. When I leave and go through the pulmonary artery, I come back in through the pulmonary veins. The pulmonary veins open into this area right here known as the what? The left atrium. When I leave the left atrium, I got to go through this valve known as the bicuspid or mitrovalve. And then I'm going to enter into this cute chamber right here known as the left ventricle. Now, some of you all can't see, but the left ventricle is going to allow me to enter into the aorta through this area right here. What is that area called, Mr. Gilmore? This is called the, if you can see it, aortic valve. The number is like 45 down in there. That's the aortic valve, as you can see it. All right? Now, we're going to play this a little bit more. Everybody ready? I'm going to slide down and look at the top part of the heart. The top part of the heart, we'll notice, coming off the aorta, the first valve is going to be the what? Brachiocephalic artery. It's going to split the brachiocephalic artery. It's going to split into the right sublclvaian artery and the right common carotid. That makes this the left common carotid, and that makes this the left sublclvaian. Oh, Mr. Gilmore, what is this junction point between the aorta and the pulmonary trunk? There's what we call the ligament arteriosus. Ligament arteriosus. Well, Mr. Gilmore, I kind of understand it now. We're going to get there. Anytime someone says a vessel on the heart, you can denote it as being a what? Coronary vessel. All right, we got that, Mr. Gilmore. Well, what is it, the sulcus that runs longitudinal on the anterior part of the heart? His name is longitudinal sulcus or ventricular sulcus, because I run the length of the heart right here. But Mr. Gilmore, what happens if you were looking at it from the posterior aspect and he runs straight across? His name is going to be transverse sulcus. Transverse sulcus. All right, so we got that lock and loaded, Mr. Gilmore. Mr. Gilmore, can you tell us, if I'm looking at this, what is this structure and what is this structure? This structure right here is the inferior vena cava. So that makes this the superior vena cava. Okay, Mr. Gilmore, I kind of got that. Then you're going to see that this model just help us understood the actual heart. You follow me? Mm-hmm. Now, the only thing is this right here shows you how bypass work. All right? I'm going to take this and table it, and now I'm going to look at a real bovine heart. The one that came out the cow.
A sulcus is
a depression, a groove. That's a good question. I'm going to start like this here, though. Can you go like that? All right? If you notice, there's an area right here. You see that? Mm-hmm. That's what we call longitudinal sulcus. What's another word for longitudinal sulcus? Ventricular sulcus. If that's my longitudinal ventricular sulcus, if I look, because this is anterior, on the posterior aspect, Mr. Gilmore, there's one that goes like this, straight across. His name is transverse sulcus or coronary sulcus. You see that? All right. Anytime I tag a vessel, what is that going to be called? Coronary vessel of the heart. Y'all ain't got to learn all the different names. All right, not right now. But let's play the game. You ready? If I'm looking at this, let me get an orientation, Mr. Gilmore. Coming up, has to be the pulmonary trunk. So what is this, Mr. Gilmore? The aorta.
We can't see it.
This is the pulmonary trunk. So this means this is the what? Aorta. So what connects the two? The ligament arteriosus. What is all this stuff I can stick? That's just fat. That's adipose on the heart. That's just fat. What is this ear flap on this side? That's left auricle. If that's left auricle, what does this one mean? Right auricle. Now, if that much is true, we're going to take, we're going to take, I got one. We're going to take the heart and open it up. And we're going to make sure everybody understands this. Okay? All right. So watch this right here. I got this outer layer of the heart. His name is epicardio. I got this middle layer of the heart, muscle-wise. His name is miocardium. And I got this sleek inside lining of the chambers. His name is endocardium. So I got epicardium, myocardium, endocardium. Not the one people spoke, but the inside of the heart. Does that make sense? Now, if that much is true, Mr. Gilmore, I noticed there are some little cords that insert onto these valves. The cords that insert onto valves are called chordinae tendineae. Chordinae tendineae. All right? But if you notice, I got these little holes right here in the inside muscle. Those are called trabeculae. Another term that can be called trabeculae is this. It connects from wall to wall. That's a trabeculae. Well, Mr. Gilmore, what would you call a septum that divides two ventricles? This is going to be called ventricular septum because it divides two ventricles. All right? If that much is true, Mr. Gilmore, what is this muscle that these chordinae tendineae are coming from? These are called papillary muscles. These are called papillary muscles. Well, Mr. Gilmore, I want you to understand something. I ain't no anatomist, so I need you to tell me where these chambers are. This chamber is the left atrium. This chamber is the left ventricle, which is the largest chamber. It is separated by this valve, which is bicuspid or mitral valve. Do that again. This is left atrium. This is left ventricle, and it's separated by who? Bicuspid or mitral valve. Sounds good. Now, Mr. Gilmore, this is one chamber, and here's another one. How do you know that? Because here is a valve. So this chamber is what? Right atrium. This chamber is right ventricle. What valve separates it? The tricuspid valve. And again, we got these chordinae tendineae that connect to it. Well, Mr. Gilmore, can you tell me what is this? You see this right here? I'm going to show y'all something because I need y'all to get this concept. Watch this here. I'm leaving what? The left atrium going to the left ventricle. What valve is this? Bicuspid or mitral. Mr. Gilmore, there's a valve right here. When I'm leaving the left ventricle and I'm going through to try to get out the body, get to the body, I'm going through this valve. What is this valve called? Aortic valve. This is my aortic valve because I'm leaving the left ventricle and I'm trying to get out to the rest of the body through the aorta. Does that make sense? So this valve, if y'all can see that, is the aortic valve. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.